Major support for Do the Math has been provided by Chevron, the Kern County Superintendent of Schools, California Resources Corporation, Kern County Water Agency, Southern California Edison, Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, and PANAMA-BUENA VISTA Union School District, with additional production assistance provided by these supporters of education in Kern County and throughout the state of California.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Do the Math. I'm Michael.
And I'm Chuck.
And I'm Mary Lou. You need help with your homework tonight? We have tutors here until 5:30. If you're calling from Bakersfield, you could call us at 636-4357. If you're calling from San Luis Obispo, you could call toll free at 1-866-636-6284. Or you can email us at dothemath@kern.org. Or if you could get a hold of us on social media with Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram.
All right, so how was your road trip yesterday?
It was awesome. And you know, when I see the beginning of the show, I'm ready to, hey, I'm here at.
Well, you know what, we certainly do appreciate you going out to the various schools. You, April, and Marty going out on the road and visiting all of the different schools. And I know that those ACES after-school programs certainly do have a lot of fun with Do the Math coming out. And
yeah, it's just so much fun meeting all of those kids out there.
Well, you know what? Today is the final day for the 6th grade calling contest, so probably later tonight or tomorrow, we'll figure out who that is, and we'll do some recognition for the students that have phoned in the most for 6th grade during the month of January. Starting next week, we'll have a 5th grade calling contest, and that will include any 5th grade classrooms. And there are some students that phoned in and they go, listen, I'm in 6th grade, but I'm in a combo, 5-6. So will that work if I call on both months? You know what? By all means, go ahead.
Yeah.
We'll tally it up for both grade levels, 5th and 6th. We do have phone tutors here until 5:30, but before we get to our special guest of the afternoon, let's first take a look at today's Math in the News. All right, so Mary Lou, you said the students yesterday were excited about the Krispy Kreme donuts that a couple of students won at Actus. The reason we were able to do that is through the generosity of Anderson Group and Sophia when she was in a couple of weeks ago. They always bring some goodies, and we just like to, hey, you know what, whoever calls, we'll give you all these things. And I think we do have a dozen Krispy Kreme left, so we'll see if we can give those away to a student later on today. Don't look like, it's all right. You can get Krispy Kreme anytime you want as well. But I figured today's Math in the News, we'll bring it back to food because I know you love to have a little discussion about food every time you're on. So, taking a look at the screen right now, pie is beautiful, is it not?
Yes,
it is tasty. And you know what? I put up here the thin pie, I'm a fan of.
No.
The margarita, you like that?
I like the margarita, but I like the thick crust.
Okay. Have you ever had a pizza cone?
No.
I haven't seen those.
I hadn't seen it either. I was looking around and I saw that and I'm like, oh, let's put that up there. So if you'd like to, you can try making some pizza cones and bring them in sometime if you'd like, and we'll see how they work out.
Tackle that.
Yeah.
That's,
All right.
yeah.
So, article I found, which is the reason I bring this up, okay? And it fit in nicely because the Super Bowl parties are coming up and everybody's going to have a lot of different foods. Pizza is universally loved. The New York-Chicago rivalry over whose pizza is best will never be resolved. Well, it can be resolved right now. I can tell you which one's best. But many have been mocked for taking fork and knife to a slice of pizza. Okay, so people that sit down and they take a fork and knife and eat the pizza. Okay,
That's a no-no.
perhaps another question is pizza blotting. Do you blot your pizza?
I don't understand. I know people want to get the grease off of it, but isn't that adding more flavor to it?
I simply inquired as to whether or not you blot your pizza.
No.
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 No, I do not myself. But for people that are like, all right, pizza blotting, this is what it is, okay? People take a napkin or paper towel or something, and they're getting the grease off the top of the pizza, okay? Mary, you pizza blot? Good. Well, we're going to bring Mary up here in a minute. We're going to talk about pizza blotting with Mary in just a few moments. But here is why, okay? Oh, I went back. Nice pizzas again. The healthy alternative, okay? All based on averages. A slice of pizza is about 272 calories. The amount of oil is 3.5 grams or 35 calories on a slice of cheese pizza. 35 calories is equal to 1/100th of 3,500 calories, which is equal to 1 pound of human fat. Getting appetizing now, isn't it? Americans eat 23 pounds of pizza a year. Blotting your pizza would soak up about 6,600 calories per year or about 2 pounds of fat. So if you eat the average amount of pizza that a person eats, 23 pounds of pizza a year, and you're like, that seems like an excessively large amount of pizza. Obviously, it's the average of what everybody eats.
Right.
Yeah.
And 35 calories per slice. You're soaking up 2 pounds of fat off that pizza as you're doing that. So I thought that was pretty interesting, and I figured, all right, well, let's take a look a little deeper into some of the math on this. So it all has to do with percentages and fractions.
Right.
So for students that are just learning, this is one of the graphics that they might get when they first start learning fractions and being introduced to them, and how you take parts to make the one whole. So you have 1/2, and then you can see all the way down through 1/12. And then I figured, well, let's go ahead and do a problem. We'll multiply some fractions. So if you're going to take 2/5 times 3/4, first thing you want to do is multiply the numerators, 2 and 3, so you get 6. Multiply the denominators, 5 and 4, you get 20. So you have 6 over 20. Simplify the fraction. If possible, 6 over 20 becomes 3 over 10. So that is today's Math in the News, and how pizza comes into play right there. And one of the other things that I found when I was looking at this is, we'll show the graphic up here, pizza slice cutting stamp. So you can take the slice of pie and you can cut it into tinier slices of pie. And they actually have an instrument, a device, where you can put it on and cut your pie into little pieces of pie.
Like little hors d'oeuvres or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
little
you could.
snacks.
So you don't have to take the fork and knife to it, I guess. You could just take the device, stamp it down on there,
And
then you would have your little pieces right there.
That's too easy.
Interesting.
So obviously you're a fan of the deep dish.
Yes.
Okay. Everybody has to have a favorite, and
Yes.
if you like the favorite, that's fine. 636-4357 is the phone number. We do have phone tutors available until 5:30. Right now we're going to go to the phones. John, how are you today?
Good.
And are you in 7th or 8th grade?
Yeah, 7.
7th grade. All right. As soon as you're ready, let's hear the math problem that you're working on.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, John.
My problem is negative x plus 3 minus x minus 5.
-5. Are you simplifying expressions?
No, I'm using models.
You're using a model. So you're using a model to simplify this expression, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so when your teacher has you do the negatives, does your teacher have you shade the boxes in?
She will just tell us, like, to draw.
You're going to need some parentheses up there also.
There are parentheses here?
Like boxes.
Okay.
She wouldn't let us shade it in.
She doesn't let you shade it in. Okay, are there parentheses up here in your problem? Is it just negative x plus 3 minus x minus 5?
You put the first parentheses go around negative x plus 3.
The negative, is that correct now?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have negative x plus 3 minus x minus 5, correct?
Yes.
And you
Okay.
need a parentheses around the x minus 5 as well.
Okay. Oh, that's a whole different, right there. Okay, so we are simplifying. So what we're going to do is, we're first, John, going to look at this. And what I'm going to do is this negative x here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shade this box in because your teacher wants a model of it. So I'm going to shade it in to represent a negative, okay?
Okay.
And then the 3, those are positive. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw 3 little boxes to represent positives, okay?
Okay.
And then over here, we are actually taking away. This is what this is saying is, hey, from this first part that we have, this negative x plus 3, we're actually taking away, so I'm going to kind of do a bracket here. We're actually taking away a positive x, and we're going to take away 5 negatives. Well, we can't really take that away, can we? Because we don't have those to take away. What we can do is this, because I don't have a, well, first of all, we're going to take away a positive. I really don't have a positive to take away, do I?
No.
I only have a negative up here. So in order to take away a positive, what I first have to do is I need to create a positive box, and I need to create also a negative box, okay?
Okay.
Now I have a positive to take away, don't I? Okay?
Yes.
I now have created my positive to take away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross this out, okay? Now over here it says to take away 5 negatives. Well, I don't really have 5 negatives to take away, do I? So what we want to do is, on this, we want to go ahead and create 5 negatives. So I'm going to create 5 small negative boxes. And then also, because I created 5 negatives, oops, trade those in real quick, I have to also create 5 positive boxes. So let's create those real quick. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, now do I have 5 negatives to take away?
Yes.
I do. I now have 5 negatives to take away, which are right here. These are my negatives, right?
Right.
So I'm going to take away those 5 negatives. Let's get those out of here. Now we have our
I
model.
can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me? Can you hear me now?
A little bit.
A little bit? Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and add these up. First of all, how many negative large boxes do you see, John? Can you hear me?
We're losing signal.
Okay, well, I'll keep going. We have actually 2 negative boxes, so we have 2 negative x's. And then with our positives, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 positive pieces. So that's another way of using a model, how we can look to see, again, here are my positives, here are my positives, I'm adding those together, and then also here is one of my negative x's, and here's my other negative x. So we have our negative 2x plus 8. That's using a model to get there. I think I lost him though. Did I lose you, John?
I understand it.
You get
I can
it?
hear you.
Okay, well there you go.
All right, so you're still online with us, John?
Yes.
All right, well, you know what? Since that was such a great problem right there, we're going to send you to the movies, courtesy of our friends at Maya Cinemas. So congratulations on that. We'll get that out in the mail to you. 636-4357 is the phone number. We do have phone tutors available until 5:30. Today is the final day for the 6th grade call-in contest. Do remember, if you're calling from outlying areas of Kern County as well as San Luis Obispo County, that phone number is toll-free at 1-866-636-6284. You call from San Luis Obispo County, automatically you'll be getting some ice cream courtesy of our friends at Doc Bernstein's Ice Cream Lab. Have you been to Doc Bernstein's?
I have.
You have?
Yeah,
I
right.
have.
Ooh, excellent. Do you have,
Nice
do you
place.
have a great flavor? Do you have a favorite over there?
No, I like all ice cream.
Okay, well, you know what? In studio with us right now, we have Mary Barlow. How are you?
Very nice.
You're an employee of the Kern County Superintendent of the Schools office, where this show is broadcast from.
Yes.
However, what is your title here?
I'm the Associate Superintendent.
The Associate Superintendent. So for students out there watching going, all right, you're the
So what
Associate
does that mean?
Superintendent. What does that mean? What do you do?
You know, I get the question from adults as well.
Okay.
So it basically is any area of operation, I will assist to make sure that we deliver support services to the 47 school districts within Kern County, and then also operate our own programs that we offer directly to students here in Kern County.
Which is this program.
This program is one of them.
So 47 school districts.
Yeah.
How big is that? I mean, for students that are watching and adults, all right, so you handle 47 school districts. How is that compared to other county offices?
So there's 58 county offices of education in the state of California.
Okay.
We're one of the largest.
I was going to say, with 47.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
the state's
significant.
the size of Connecticut, basically.
It's large. We have 175,000 students on average that we're serving. And if you look at the size of the school districts, the smallest school district has about 8 students. The largest has about 37,000 students.
Where is the 8th student? Is that Woody?
Yes.
We've been out there.
I love it. I
John
love
and
it.
Brian,
Yeah,
those
hi,
guys will remember
Dawn.
that. And yeah, those guys are excellent to work with. We had a great time. We went out there. We saw the old schoolhouse, and
Yeah.
just fabulous to go out to Woody. And so we were able to see the smallest.
Yes.
And do you know offhand the largest?
Yeah, that would be Kern High School District.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Bakersfield City School District, followed by Panama and Greenfield.
All right. And how long have you been in this position that you're currently in?
A little over 2 years.
And before that, you were,
I was the Assistant Superintendent of Accountability and Finance.
okay.
And then before that, I worked for FICMAT as the Deputy Chief Officer. And in that position, we help districts across the state and county offices look at their finances, and if there's any areas of concern, then we'll go in and complete a management analysis and give them some recommendations to bring them into fiscal solvency.
All right. And how long have you been in education?
20 years.
Okay, so you know the ins and outs, and
Little bit.
you're working with the county office
Yeah.
and things like that.
Yep.
And you are, I guess you could say, Christine Frazier's right-hand
I
person right there.
am.
Yeah,
I have
okay.
that
If-
honor.
If Christine needs something, you are right there. You know everything she does, and you know what? We had the pleasure of having Christine on the show before, and we had another colleague of yours, Steve Sanders,
Love them.
as a guest on the program, and they were game enough to play a game with me.
All right.
All right, so we're going to have you play a game in just a couple of moments
All
with us.
right.
First, though, I want to remind you that we have phone tutors available until 5:30. Chuck, we're going to do a problem that is going to be similar to the one we did yesterday.
Okay.
So we're going to get a TV again, and the TV will cost $2,500.
Oh, that same TV, all right.
Same TV. However, we're not going to buy this on credit. We're going to use a layaway plan.
Oh, okay.
All right. The layaway plan is you want to put down a 20% deposit.
Okay, so layaway,
So you need to put down 20%.
20% deposit, okay,
And obviously there will be no interest because we're not using a credit card.
okay.
But we want to know what is the amount of deposit, and then how long will it take to pay this off if we're paying $200 a month?
And then monthly payments, $200,
$200 a month.
okay, monthly, $200.
So we need to know how much do we need to put down and how long will it take to pay this off?
All right, so we are going to take 20% of our $2,500 and make a deposit, pay that up front. So we're going to take 20% of $2,500. So just as we did the other day, we're going to change this to a decimal, and we're going to multiply that 20/100, 0.20 times 2,500, and that'll give us our deposit amount. So I'm going to take $2,500 times 0.20. Now, yesterday we multiplied by this, and we don't really need that zero because I know that 0.20 is the same as just 0.2. It'll save us some multiplication, so I'll just go multiply by 2, and I get 10, carry the 1, 5, and 2 zeros, 2 decimal places. So it looks like my my 20% is going to be $50. So when I do that multiplication.
Well, do we have the decimal in the right spot?
Yeah, let's see, I multiplied 2. Oh, I'm sorry, I had 2 decimal places here and I moved it 2 places, but it was supposed to only be 1. So here I only have 1 decimal place because I got rid of that 0.
Right.
So my deposit's going to be $500, right? So $500 is the deposit. All right. So now we're going to pay off this TV set, right? Large screen TV. But instead of paying off the $2,500, we're going to pay off the $2,500 plus the $500 deposit, correct?
Well, we're going to take away the deposit
I'm
because
sorry,
we've already paid that.
We paid the $500 up front, and that's going to leave us $2,000 that we need to pay. So we paid $500. We don't have the TV set yet. We put it out there, and then we're going to pay it off and get it. So now we're going to take that $2,000, and we're going to pay $200 a month. So I'm going to take that $2,000 and I'm going to figure out how many monthly payments is it going to cost me is it going to take me to pay that $2,000. So I want to know how many times does 200 go into our remaining balance, that's what this is, of $2,000. And it's pretty easy to see that 200 is not going to go into 220, it's going to go into 200 one time. So that'll give me 10, it looks like it's going to be 10 monthly payments of $200 to pay off that $2,000 balance. 10 months. Okay, was that the question that we had?
That was it.
That's it.
So we've got the amount down and the number of months it's going to take. All right, 636-4357 is the phone number. We do have phone tutors available until 5:30. Mary, what is some of the math that you need to do, maybe not every day, but math you need to know in your position?
In my current position, I really need to understand budgets. So for me, it's more of doing quite a bit in my head.
Okay, so some mental math.
Yeah, mental math. When you talked about this problem right away, I started thinking, okay, I'm going to move my decimals and I know what the percentages are. And then looking at a budget to see if it's something that is reasonable. So there's a lot of reasonableness, looking at judging it.
Okay.
And so that's typically what I would use. Now my husband is an engineer, so he uses a lot more math.
So you're always willing to learn something new, though, right?
Absolutely.
All right, excellent. Let's come on over here.
Okay.
I'll slide over this way a little bit so that you don't have to. What we'll do is, it's a NIM game. All right, so we're going to do a little mathematical reasoning, a little bit of logic. It's pretty easy and simple to set up. So any student, whatever, can play this any place you are. You simply need something so that you can make a row of 3. We'll make a row of 5. And then we'll make a row of 7. I can get them all on there? All right. So what we'll do is we'll just put a marker on each of these. And I know there are 2 colored markers, but it doesn't matter what color is facing up. Okay? When it is your turn, you may take 1 or 2 markers off of the board. Okay? You want to be the person to take the last 1 or 2 off the board. Okay? Would you like to go first or second?
That's a trick question.
Oh,
Isn't it?
stop with the trick questions.
I'll go first.
You'll go first. All right, so you may take 1 or 2 anywhere you like off the board.
Okay.
All right, and I will take 2, but I'll take them from there. I'll take 1. Now remember, you want to be the person to take the last 1 or 2 markers off the board. So at this point, some students at home should be kind of figuring out, all right, who should be doing what to guarantee a win based on the number of markers that are still there. The game is still within reach for either one of us.
No. I get it.
Now, there's only one thing I could possibly do right here is I could go like this, hoping that you do something.
Like take one.
Right, like take one.
Yeah, but
But
that's
you're not
gonna
going
happen.
to take one.
Yeah.
So you take the two, and you won that round. Okay, so you can see how the game is played. So the key is, as it gets closer to the end, students will be able to see, all right, there's 7 or 8 markers left. I kind of have an idea of what to do so that I can guarantee myself a win. The key is, can you do that? Can you have a strategy so that when there are this many, if you go first or second, based on what the other person does, start putting yourself into a position to win regardless of what they do. So now we're going to put a little twist on it.
Okay.
All right? You may take 1 or 2 off, but if you take 2, they must be from the same row.
Okay.
And you still want to be the person to take the last 1 or 2 off.
Okay.
Are we good?
Okay.
All right. Would you like to go first or second?
First.
Okay. You're just trying to wipe out a row. I can see that already, maybe here.
Now, do they need to be?
They do not have to be touching. They don't need to be side by side, which is why I did that.
Okay.
As long as they're in the same row, you're fine.
Okay. You got me.
Oh, what? Right, so by rules, see if they're in different rows,
right.
now
Yeah.
it's a little different now, right?
Yep, got to
So
think
let's
longer
slide back
term.
over this way.
All
So I
right.
just wanted to show that that is a very simple game that anybody can set up as long as you have 15 markers of something. You have 15 little anything. And then you can set up that game and start developing a strategy where, and what we do is the kids in class, they have to make a poster, and based on if you're first or second, what you should be doing based on how many markers are left. So if you don't mind me asking, what were you kind of thinking as we were going through the game? Because you've never done this before.
No, well, I was counting the number, seeing as odd, even.
Okay.
What's the benefit of going 2 at a time versus 1, wanting to be, you know, kind of not trapped, but necessarily leave no choice at the end.
Right.
Right.
All right, well, that's exactly what we wanted you to do, just as the students can see, all right, this is how an adult is kind of approaching this, what they're thinking of as they're going through that process. So just that mathematical reasoning and some logic right there. Mary, we certainly do appreciate you taking out some time, coming down to visit us.
Absolutely.
And we are one of your premier programs, I would have to say, are we not? All right,
Absolutely.
that's what I like to hear.
Thank you so much.
636-4357 is the phone number. We do have phone tutors available until 5:30. We'll be back with more right after this. Well, today we're in beautiful Lake Isabella. We're visiting Wallace Middle School, and today we're here to Well, once again, we're at Wallace Middle School, and with us today, we've got 8th grader Maddie. How are you?
Good.
You ready to roll?
Yeah.
All right. Why don't you go ahead and read the problem for us first?
Evaluate x to the third power when x equals 1.6.
Instead of saying x to the third power, do you know another way to say that?
X times 2, or you can do x times 3, or x to times, or I can't.
You've got it right here. Give me the pen for a second here.
Yeah.
If I do this, what is that?
That'd be x times x. So then.
Which is x to the second power. Have you
Yeah.
heard x squared?
Oh yeah, then that'd be x cubed.
There you go.
Yeah,
now you
there's
got it.
that.
All right. So x cubed. That's what I was looking for. Let me grab this real quick.
Okay.
We'll get this out of the way. So how are we going to solve this problem?
So first I would look at this and I'll rewrite it as x3. And then I know that x equals 1.6, so then we got that out of the way. Then we would plug in the numbers, so it'd be 1.6 to the third power. And then after I knew that, then I know I have to times 1.6 times 1.6 times 1.6.
Good. And that's different than 1.6 times 3.
Yeah, because 1.6 times 3 would just be 3 of these, but this is 1.6 times 1.6 times 1.6.
All right, so how do you want to go ahead and do this now?
Then I do it probably like this, 1.6, and I can do it twice for once, and then or I can just do it all 3 times, and then.
Well, for the students that are watching, is it easy to multiply like that, or do you want to do 2 first and then get that answer and multiply it by a third one?
You could do that, then yeah, that'd be probably easier.
Okay. Because there are a lot of students watching for the first time, and they're going x to that. I'm not sure how that exponent works and the base number, so we'll do it like this first.
Yeah, all right. So then when I do 6 times 6 is 36, so I put a 6 right here, and then we have to make our extra and put it up there, and then we bring down our decimal, or no, that's for adding, and then we go 1 plus 1 is 1, and then we'd add 3.
So we did 6
Oh
times
yeah,
6. There you go.
I don't know why okay.
I
Then,
think you're going too fast. You're
Yeah.
thinking faster
and
than
then
you're
do
writing, I think.
6 times 1 is 6, and then we'd add 3, and then that'd be 9.
Okay.
And then we have to do our save our place, or whatever you want to say it. And then we'd do 1 times 6, it would be 6. We'll cross that out. And then we'll do 1 times 1 is 1. And then we add them up, and then we go 6, and then we go 9 plus 6, and that'd be 15. And then we do 1 plus 1, and that'd be 2. And then since there's 2 decimals, we carry over twice. So 1 and 2.
Well, we're going to go
Or
from
1,
this
yeah,
side.
that's, I don't know.
There you go.
Yeah, like that. And
So
then
now what?
then now we have to times it by another 1.6 since it's
Okay, you want to come over here and do it so you've got a little bit more room?
So we do 2.56, and then we do plus it by 1.6. And then just to make sure, so we know like we have this place, we'll put a 0 right there.
So before you start, because what you're going to do is you're going to end up with a little more numbers than you actually need. So you were lining it up with decimals. How about if we
Yeah.
just line it up with the numbers themselves?
Yeah.
So we'll just go 1.6 here.
Yeah. 6. I'm thinking about adding, I don't know why. And then we got 6 times 6 is 36 again. So 6 and then 36. And then 6 times 5 is 30, and then we go 33. And then we go, we'll cross that out. And then we go 6 times 6 is percentage to the second, or since we're timesing it by 2, and that'd be 12 plus 3, and that'd be 15. And then we save our place. And then we go 1.6 is 6. Cross that out. And then 1.5 is 5, or 1 times 5 is 5. And then we do 1 times 2 is 2. And then we add those together, and it'll be 6. And then we add those together, it'll be 9. And then 10, and then we'll move that up there. And that'll be 3, and then 4. Then we have to move our decimal over, and that'll be 3 times. So 1, 2, 3.
All set?
Yeah.
Nicely done. Because let's try this for a moment. If we had 2 cubed, that means 2 times 2 times 2, right? Because sometimes the student might see this and go, 2 times 3 is 6.
Yeah.
But what is this then?
It means that like that's the third power, so you have to time like if it's cubed, then like if it was a triangle, you have to find the perimeter. You have to times it all the both sides. That's kind of like how it would be if it was like squared. So then you have to times it all by 3, and then so you have to times this by 2 because that would equal 2 of them. Because this pretty much means like this times this amount of times.
Right. So then we have 2 times 2 is?
2 or 4, and then we do it times another, and that'd be 8.
Right, so we can see that 8 is a lot different than 6. All right, nicely done, Maddie.
Thank you.
Perfect work.
And just a reminder, we do have phone tutors available until 5:30, and today is the final day for the 6th grade call-in contest. In studio with us right now, we have Ruth. How are you today?
Good.
Why don't you tell everybody where you go to school and what grade you're in?
I go to Berkshire Elementary, and I am in the 6th grade.
So you're a 6th grade student, so we're going to tally up you for being in here today for your classroom, and you were looking at the list of the 6th grade students that have been phoning in, and you said you knew some of those students that have been phoning in from Berkshire a while ago, right?
Yes.
And at least one of them is from your classroom, correct?
Yes.
Well, good. That'll be a tally mark for your classroom as well right there. Ruth, what is the best thing about 6th grade so far this year? I don't want to hear about kindergarten through 5th grade. What is the best thing about 6th grade that you've done so far this year?
Everybody's like, the best part about being in 6th grade is when you walk by the kindergartners at school, because then they're like, whoa, there are some big kids over there.
Do you remember, were you in kindergarten at Berkshire? Have you been there for a long time?
Yes.
So you've been there the whole time. So you like going by the kindergartners and they're like looking at you guys, go, whoa, look at how big you guys are and things like that, huh?
Yes.
All right, well, you know what? We're going to have a math problem that you're going to work on in a couple of moments. A very long homework problem you brought in for us to work on. So we're going to go ahead and get you started on that. But first, we're going to go back. John, how are you again? Hello?
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Hey, listen, I didn't realize that you had another math problem you had to work on. So let's go ahead and take care of that second math problem that you were working on. I think Mary Lou's going to help you out with this. And I think you need to find the side of one of the figures. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, John, I have this written.
Like, read the question?
Yeah, go ahead. Can you see what I'm drawing up? Is this the question? But go ahead and read it to make sure.
Okay. It says the perimeter of the garden shown is 6x plus 2 units. Find the length of the missing.
Okay, so John, is this the picture that you have? Is this what the perimeter looks like?
Excuse me?
Is this what the picture looks like?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Okay,
Okay, there you go.
Can you hear me now, kiddo?
Yes.
Okay, so is this what the picture looks like?
Yes.
Okay, so we have to find up here what this is up here at the top? Yes? Okay, well, if we look here, we know that we have an x here, and then our base is 3x plus 1. Perimeter is adding up all the sides together, correct? Yes? Okay, so the first thing is, let's look at how many x's we have. We have 1x plus another, there's 2, plus down here there's 3. So we have 3 x's, do we not? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so we have, well, I'm sorry, we have 5 x's. We have a total of 5 x's, okay? Well, if we look at our answer over here for the perimeter, how many x's are in that answer? There are 6 x's, correct?
Yes.
There are 6 times x, and we have 5 here. So we need 1 more x to get 6x. So we know that we're going to have an x up here. Now, if we look over here at our 1, we have a plus 1. But let's look at our answer, John, and it says a plus 2. Well, I know that 1 plus 1 is 2. So if we add a 1 up here, then we now have 2. So let's double check here. Let's group this all together, okay? We're going to write it out as x plus, we have our x plus 1, plus our other side of x, plus our base, which is 3x plus 1. Let's see if this all equals to 6x plus 2. Well, we're going to count it up. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 x's. And then we're going to look at our 1's. And I have a 1 plus another 1, which is 2. So there we go. We have our 6x plus 2. So if we see here, John, your missing side is x plus 1, okay?
Okay.
And there you go.
Nicely done. Do remember, if you need some more help with those, we do have phone tutors available until 5:30. All right, Ruth, you brought in an excellent problem because it is a long problem and you're dealing with some growth. So let's go ahead and take a look at the problem right now. And while you do that, Chuck is going to start putting up some information on the board so we can go ahead and start working on this.
Okay.
But we can see the exponential growth data table. First of all, we have the years going across, and it looks as though we're doing this for 6 years. The beginning population of these turkeys, you have 46 turkeys.
Okay, so
Okay.
we got first year, so first year is 46 turkeys?
Right.
Okay.
And the next column under that, or the next row, would be minus 5-year-olds, and there are no 5-year-olds because this is the first year. So there are no 5-year-olds. Last year's hatch, how many were born last year? Well, there were none born last year because this is the first year.
Okay.
So we started with 46. We're going to take away the 5-year-olds, take away last year's, and that equals our breeding population, which is going to be 46. The breeding pairs, well, we take the answer in number 4, which was 46 divided by 2, so we have 23 pairs of turkeys that will be breeding. The offspring, this is how many are born. So we'll take the answer in number 5, multiply that by 10, because each female will produce 10 baby turkeys. All right? So we're now at 230 turkeys born. We're going to add the breeding population, which was number 4. We had 46 turkeys. So, and last year's hatch, there were none born last year. So that is the next row.
Oh, okay, so
Of
we have
zero,
to
so
add the
last year's hatch is
46
0.
plus the 0.
So our total population at the end of the first year is 276 turkeys.
276.
So
Okay.
Ruth, we started with 46 turkeys and we ended up with 276. Okay? So now what the graph is showing us is we're going to take the 276, that is our beginning
So
population
we're
of year
gonna
2.
Okay.
Now Ruth, during year 2, do we have any 5-year-olds?
Nope.
No, because we only have turkeys that are in their second year right now, okay? Last year's hatch, which is how many were born last year, okay? So you go back to the offspring, that's how many were born last year, the 230. That's where we get the 230 from. Now, we're going to take the 276 minus the 230, that is the breeding population, which is 46. Okay, because those 230 newborn turkeys are not breeding right now.
Right.
So we have 46 breeding population, and we divide that by 2. Once again, we have 23 pairs that can breed. Once again, the 23 females will have 10 each, so that's 230 new turkeys. The breeding population is 46, and we're going to add all of the little turkeys from last year. 230. So now our population is at 506 turkeys. All right? You with me so far?
Yes.
Okay, because you brought this problem in, so I just want to make sure you're following us here. All right? Because we're getting close to the part where you're going to have to start doing some work now. So year 3, we have 506 turkeys. We still do not have any 5-year-olds because we can see as we look across year 5, that's when we get rid of the original 5-year-old turkeys, okay? But until that point, we're still good. Last year, we had 230 offspring, so that's where the 230 comes from, equals the breeding population. So we're going to take 506 minus the 230, leaves us with 276 turkeys.
Okay, so number 4 is going to be the
276, that is the new breeding population.
276.
Okay,
So that
now
was
we
the
need
506 minus the 230.
right. Okay, so Ruth, over to the board. You're going to start working with Chuck now.
Really?
All right, so get over to the board.
Okay, so we don't have any of the information up there. So we
Right.
need
So
that
what we need to
information.
do now is we need to figure out the breeding pairs, which is number 4 divided by 2.
So we take 276 and divide that by 2. So what's 276 divided by 2? If you want to, you can work it out over there on the side, or if you can figure it out. If I take 276 and divide that
It's-
by 2,
138.
138,
138 is correct.
okay? Very
All right.
good. It's half
Now-
of 200, half of 76.
The next thing we need to do is we need to take the offspring, which is the number 5, 138, times 10.
So we're going to take 10 times this, 10 times this, 10 times that. What's 10 times 138?
1,380.
Nice, because
Okay,
all
just
we have
put
to
a
do is
zero
add
at
a
the end of
0, right? So write that down. That'll be the next line down right below it.
Now we're going to add the breeding population, number 4. And the breeding population
gonna
was 276.
we're
So
gonna
we're going
two-
to write 276 in that next spot.
Okay, so right below it, we're going to write 276.
And we're going to add last year's hatch, which was 230.
So add 230.
And now we're going to get a total. So you're going to add the
Move
230,
this down. Let's see if I can move this down. There you go. Just move it down just a little bit there.
and we're going to add the 1380, the 276, and the 230.
So we got 8 and 7 and 3, right?
There you go, nicely done, 1886. So we'll take 1886 and put that at the top
So that's
of
our-
year number 4.
So I'll put year 4, and that's 1,000. Wow, that jumped pretty quick, didn't it?
So Ruth, the next part is minus the 5-year-olds. Do we have any 5-year-olds yet?
Not yet.
Not yet, 'cause we're in
only
year
on year
4.
4. So we've still got 0 there.
Now the next one is we're going to minus last year's hatch. So the offspring, which was number 6, how many were
The
there born
offspring.
on row number 6?
So 1,380, right? Is that
Correct.
right?
So do I write it down?
Yeah, so write that right there.
And following what we've been doing, the next row will be where you subtract those numbers.
What's 1886 minus 1380?
So that is
There you go.
There you go, 506. Now we're going to take the 506 and divide that by 2.
But we subtracted, so there's no,
Oh,
yeah, so we
oopsies.
took that 1,000. So it
Oopsies.
worked out to be 506. Good.
So now 506 divided by 2 to get the breeding pairs.
So now we have to do them in pairs. So what's half of 506?
253.
253. Good. Half of 500 and half of 6.
So those are the breeding pairs. Now you have a female will give birth to 10, so you're going to multiply that number by 10.
So again, we're going to multiply by 10. Real easy to do, right? What's 10 times 253?
2,530.
Very good. Now you're going to add the breeding population, which was number 4.
So we're going to add the 506.
And you're going to add last year's hatch, which was number 3, in that same
13.
column.
So 1,380, we're going to add that to it also.
And you're going to add all 3 of those numbers now. And because you're lining them up neatly, it's going to make things a lot easier for you there.
Yeah.
There we go, nicely done. 4,416 goes at the top of year 5.
How many columns do we have here?
Well, we're going to stop right
We're
there.
going to stop, okay.
So we're going to get to the top of year 5. And we can see that we started off with 46 turkeys. And after 4 years, there are over 4,000 turkeys.
A lot of turkeys.
So that's some big time growth. So Ruth, do you see how this pattern is going and how you keep on going with this?
Yes.
All right, good. So why don't you go ahead and you leave that marker over there and come on back over here for a quick moment.
Yeah, it's really important to keep track of everything.
Right, keep track of everything, and as you were
lined
doing,
up.
right, keep everything lined up so it's easy to keep track of everything and add them up like that. So we're going to let you finish up with the other years 5 and 6, and then because you're here, when you're through with that, we'll check you to make sure it's all done correctly, all right? Sound good? All right. Now you've been at Berkshire for your whole schooling, right? Kindergarten through 6th grade. What is something that you anticipate or you're looking forward to when you go to junior high next year?
That we finally get to change periods.
So you're going to like going to different classes, right?
Yes.
That's what a lot of students say. And if I'm not mistaken, you have a brother already in junior high, right?
Yes.
Has he given you any tips or anything like, hey, get ready for this when you get here?
Yes.
Yeah? All right. Well, good. That's good that your brother is looking out for you right there. 636-4357 is the phone number. We do have phone tutors available until 5:30. We'll be back with more right after this.
They have such a heart for their neighborhood and for our community. And they want to do something that's meaningful, something that we can point to as being sort of the beacon of hope for our neighborhood.
It's a vacant lot, lies just to the west of Williams Elementary School. That was pretty much our target, our very first cleanup. You can imagine it, tires, mattresses, sofas. Once we got all that cleared off, it took about a good half a day, started to see the potential in it.
Throughout our conversations with lots of families, it became clear that there was no active green space, a limited number of recreational opportunities for families to participate in. And so the idea bubbled up about a park for the neighborhood. And so we thought a pocket park might be appropriate for the community.
For our kids, we want them to see that where they live, it's a nice neighborhood, that if we say we're going to do something, if we are all together, we could do it.
Esto es importante para mí porque mi niña anda en esto y me quiero envolver más porque me gusta ayudar. Me gusta ser voluntario en todo lo que necesiten.
Our dream is to convert an eyesore into something that's beautiful, into a beautiful pocket park that the entire neighborhood can be proud of.
An event space, a gathering space for movie nights, for concerts. Children First and other organizations have created a great cultural program in the Williams Elementary area, bringing in musicians, and so a space that can facilitate those events.
We're thinking of putting in an orchard for the community, which will be a beautiful thing, that everyone getting together and really taking advantage of something that we're putting in, something they can take home with them.
As far as the funding, it is quite significant. It's in the 5-figure range, and we do want the neighborhood and the parents and the community members to take part in raising those funds. That way it provides ownership.
We have buy-in from the neighborhood. We have some commitments for financial contributions to fund the park, but we need to raise almost $190,000 in order to both purchase the property and to build the park. And so we're looking now for those donors who want to invest in this project, invest in our neighborhood, and invest in our kids.
I am really happy to be helping my community, and it's something wonderful.
It'll be just the starting point of our long-term community development efforts in East Bakersfield, but I think it would be a powerful and very important symbol for all of us.
And a reminder, today is the final day for the 6th grade call-in contest. We have about 35 minutes left in that contest for the end of today, Wednesday. But right now we're going to put Ruth back to work. I understand that you have been working on equations this year in 6th grade as well.
Yes.
Let's go to the board and make sure we can keep you going on these. All right? So here we go. 3, open parentheses, 2b, or not 2b. No, I'm only kidding. We'll stop. Okay. So it's 2b plus 6. Close parentheses, is equal to 2, open parentheses, 4b minus 8. So Ruth, if you could explain to Mary Lou how to solve that problem.
You ready?
Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is multiply the numbers in the parentheses by the numbers outside.
Okay, you know what property that is?
Multiplication.
Yeah, also distributive property. Okay, go for it. Show me how it's done.
Okay, so we do it like that. 3 times 2b is 6b. And then plus 18.
And you're going to do the same thing on the other side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you find a lot of your friends sometimes forget to multiply that second number?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, now that we've done the distributive property, what do you need to do next? Because I see there's variables on both sides and there's constant terms on both sides, so what should you do?
You need to isolate the variables.
Okay, so which side would you like to isolate the variables to?
This one.
Okay, so that means what are you going to get rid of?
The 6b.
Okay, and you're going to move it to the other side?
Yes.
Okay, so how are we going to move that to the other side?
You add it.
Well, is that a positive?
Yes.
So how do I get rid of a positive?
Negative.
Exactly.
So then you take it away.
Yes. And what we do to one side, we have to do to the
other.
Yeah.
So that goes away because...
It does. There's that 2b again, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what do we need to bring down the 18?
Yes.
Okay. Do we really need that plus sign since just the 18 is there?
Not really.
Okay, so let's get rid of the
We'll give you
plus.
about 20 seconds to wrap
okay,
that
do your
up.
18 for me real quick. And I'm going to help you out finish this real quick. We're going to bring down the minus 16, and I'm going to add 16 real quick. Watch, we're going to do this really fast. So, looking at that real quick, what do you think the answer is? What's B?
Well, hold on there, sister, because you got 18 plus 6 is equal to 2.
Oh, no, that's not right. Huh, that's what I get for going too fast, don't I?
You were subtracting.
We were subtracting. What's
so
18 plus 6?
34.
18 plus 6 is 24. And plus 16 is 34.
Is it 34? Okay, now 2 times what is 34?
17. Nicely done.
There we go.
All right, there you go. Hey, you know what? Thank you to Ruth and thank you to Mary. Until we meet again, continue to do the math.
Major support for Do the Math has been provided by Chevron, the Kern County Superintendent of Schools, California Resources Corporation, Kern County Water Agency, Southern California Edison, Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, and Panama-BUENA VISTA Union School District, with additional production assistance provided by these supporters of education in Kern County and throughout the state of California.